August is looking dramatically different. Some of you are going to say this is some wow weather ahead with temperatures below average. Kind of hard to believe. It's been a while since we've seen that. And look at these numbers heading into the first week of August. Now, I do think there will be a bit of a change as we head toward the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, as we start to see warmer temperatures rebound. However, I don't think it's going to be as hot as what we've seen in July. This is really pushing this out on the European extended weeklies. You can take this and throw it in the garbage for all I care. I get it. I'm with you. But the idea, is there that we do start to see some warmer air start to move back into the Central Plains and the central U.S. And if you look at the short-term deterministic runs, it's kind of telling that story too. Let's look at this long range, and then we're going to also dig into what I think we have to watch with the tropics heading around the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere in that time frame. Across the east, we've got this trough digging in. This means cooler than average temperatures, some drier air punching in from Canada too, and also across the west coast. We're looking at the upper level pattern. Decent low south of Alaska right now. It's really getting warm here too into western Canada where, we're dealing with some wildfires. Some of that smoke trying to sneak into parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin. We're going to be dealing with that for a little while, especially with this northwest flow. Eventually that does start to change a little bit. However, check this out. August. I'm telling you, this looks dramatically different than what we're seeing now. So by the time we get to next Tuesday, where you're baking with heat indices in the 110 to 115 range along the Mississippi River, you're probably going to be dealing with much different conditions heading into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Okay, more clouds too, by the way, and showers across the southeast. Across the far southwest, heights build as that hot air really starts to settle in. The atmosphere expands, so we're going to get quite toasty, I think, across the southwest. However, I think here, generally from the Central Plains, from the south central states east, a different pattern. It's August. It's still going to get hot, but maybe not as hot. And look what the Europeans trying to do as we head into the following week. Are we going to see a piece of energy move here across parts of western Canada, digging into the northern plains? Decent jet streak if you end up with this type of setup, so that could be a severe weather maker and another cool shot of air, at least for the northern half of the U.S. The GFS ensembles kind of are on board with this idea too, with more of a trough pattern in the west, or the east rather, and a decent ridge across the west. Getting the words mixed up today. You see where I'm going with this. I told you I was going to talk about this southeast threat too. I want to push this out a little bit. This is the European ensemble guidance. Notice these little blobs. Watch them here. Boom, right there they go. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. So we're starting to see different plots of low pressure show up somewhere in the tropics sometime around the 10th, 11th, 12th, and the 13th. Will these materialize into anything at this point? I don't know, but they're starting to show up. Multiple members, not just one run. And what this is doing, you're stacking different models on top of each other, so you see the idea that they're sniffing something. If you've tuned into the channel for any amount of time, I always say I'm not buying it just yet, but I might be shopping and watching this time period for now. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you'll come back. About half of you aren't subscribers, so I'd love to have you back here and join the community. And I always love hearing from you guys as well. Here's a bigger picture look too at these temperature anomalies, and we were talking about those below average temperatures across the east, but look how far they extend. Even into parts of Texas, we could be looking at temperatures below average heading into the 4th, 5th, and the 6th. And then as we head into the following week, toward the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, I think the warm temperatures do come back. And here's that cooler shot of air again, maybe around the 11th and the 12th. And now we're also watching the tropics as we get toward that same time frame. A little bit closer to where we are right now. Let's look at tomorrow. Thursday's severe weather at risk. I think you watch the Mid-Atlantic from the DC metro over to Baltimore, and then also here along parts of the Rockies. There could be some strong thunderstorms. Let's dig into these details. And again, if you're just joining the live stream, you can back it up to the very beginning. We just went through the whole long-range outlook. Let's dig into the radar, and we'll talk about this as we head into Thursday. Again, some of those storms across Colorado and Wyoming could be strong. There will also be a few pulse thunderstorms across Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas. The dynamics just aren't there. But what we are seeing is some cooler and some drier air starting to build into parts of the upper Midwest. Look at these temperatures. Big difference. This is heading to Thursday afternoon. High temperatures probably stuck in the 70s across Iowa, parts of Missouri, even into Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Beautiful temperatures. And we're pushing that heat all the way down, maybe south of the Red River, if you believe it or not, maybe even into Oklahoma. We might see highs on Friday get back into the 70s in some areas. I think, though, the further south you go toward the Red River, you're likely going to be closer to 90 and pushing these temperatures out even a little bit more. Look at this blue showing up here into parts of the upper Midwest. Saturday morning could feel really nice, but we do start to see a bit of a warming trend. At least we're back close to 80 in many areas as we approach the weekend. Your heat indices, a lot of relief across the southern Mississippi River Valley where we're in the 110 to 115 range. I'm going to push this out. Look at the change by the time we get into Saturday, at least anyway. We push a lot of the triple-digit heat indices way south, along the Gulf Coast anyway, and then temperatures stay relatively muted compared to where we are now. All right, let's look closer to the Great Lakes into the east. I think the active region to watch tomorrow will be right here, northern West Virginia, southern Pennsylvania, into Maryland, northern Virginia, as this disturbance swings east. It's a cold front too, and along that front, there could be some heavy rain through the morning hours into parts of Ohio, Indiana, a few rumbles of thunder rather, and then that continues to kick off to the east. Hey, thanks, Jas. Appreciate that super chat there. Awesome. People like you, it's just, man, it's awesome. I so appreciate that. That's amazing. And again, I appreciate everyone who's supported the channel over the years. A lot of you maybe just come back for the big snowstorms, but some of you are here for the long term and the long haul, I guess. So yeah, appreciate that. I'm always amazed by folks' generosity like you. All right, look at the rain moving into the northeast, though, as we move into Thursday. Your severe weather right in here. That's the pocket you got to watch as we head into the afternoon. Now, I'm going to back this up just a little bit right here. Boom. You see how the sun's probably going to be out. We start to get quite unstable. And here comes your cooler air aloft. Thunderstorms, pow, there they go. Northern Virginia from Charlottesville north up into southern Maryland. The panhandle of West Virginia. So we're talking about Martinsburg over to Baltimore, down to Winchester, down 81 into parts of Virginia. So these storms could start to get a little strong, and then that heads to the east. A decent shield of rain moving into the northeast as we head into Thursday evening. And then the showers and storms will be scattered as our front moves through the Appalachians down into the Carolinas. And then as we move into Friday morning, the rain's going to hold on at least through the early morning along the coast. And then we start to see much drier and some cooler conditions start to build in. Notice here, at the end of this frame, I'm going to back this up just a touch right here. Everything kind of coming in like this, just a little bit. So your front's going to get held up here, and it's not going to make much headway to the south. That's typical for this time of year, but here comes the relief. I want to show you on the dew points. Anything over 70, that's just swampy, right? It just feels horrible. We do start to see that change, though. Look at those dew points heading into Thursday night into Friday, 50s and 40s. Man, let me tell you something. You get dew points in the 50s, that's feeling pretty doggone awesome. And now Friday night, you've got dew points in the 50s from Columbus to Harrisburg all the way to Albany. Look at these dew points in northern New England in the 40s. We may see temperatures in the 40s early Saturday morning if that shakes out. Here's your heat index. You want to feel something that is going to feel a lot better? Yeah, you get heat indices going from the triple digits down into the mid-70s. That's going to be a shock to the system a little bit. There's your August wow, if you will. And then we're still baking across the deep south. But there is some relief on the way. Even by Saturday, we push those heat indices away. At least we start to get rid of the triple digits. I mean, as far south as Macon, and it's probably just going to be the shower activity from Columbia to Macon over to even Birmingham. More clouds, more rain, but much, much different as we head into next week and across the west. Big storms, we talked about them across Wyoming into Colorado. A few storms also into New Mexico. Otherwise, we'll do it again heading into Friday. And quite a bit of shower activity, too, across parts of Montana. Low temperatures, crisp and cool in the morning. We fire up nicely into the afternoon. Watch what the models do with the showers. Bang, there you go. See them firing across the high terrain, likely induced by that differential heating between the southern side and the sun-exposed side of the mountains. You get all that differential heating going, and pow, there go your storms. And your temperatures will be reflected in that. So the relief to the heat across the west will be a different type of, would be the thunderstorms and just cooling down from that. Certainly not a huge weather change. So there you go. If you're just catching the live stream, you can take it back from the beginning. We talk about this August wow that's on the way. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time right here.